right, I am going to start recording. I'm excited for tonight. You guys, I've been trying to keep my Zooms a little bit shorter just because I love when they're just like quick to the point. And I feel like more people are willing to watch the replay. So share these with your teams. If you ever have something that your team comes across, go to my YouTube. I literally put out like 2 trainings a week. So there's definitely something there for whatever you need. And if there's not, tell me what the issue is or whatever you guys are going through so that we can mark that down for something to cover if that's something that you're hearing a lot from your teams. So as leaders, start to kind of take mental note of the things that you're hearing. And if it's something that we haven't covered, like I said, just let me know. But I want all of you to share something that you've either learned from May Cause Miracles or something that it's made you realize. I want you to share something. For me personally, I've expressed this before about the book, but it's really challenging me. Like, it's pushing me in ways that I didn't think it would. Like, it's making me think about things that I feel like maybe I've suppressed for a while. And I think that maybe a lot of us can say the same, but I don't know. I just think that it's bringing some things to the surface, a lot of fears that I didn't realize that I still had. So does anybody else want to share one?
Okay, I'll do it. I'll take one for the team, you know. So if any of y'all know me, I am totally not this whole read this book, figure it out, stop and take a breath kind of a thing. So mine's kind of tag along to yours, Lex. But for me, as like when it says stop and take a moment, like I really do truly stop and take a moment. And it's kind of like relaxing and really helps like open up my mind for like the rest of the chapter. So I feel like that's really been different for me. That's something that hit me with the book.
I'll go next. I guess for me, I like the quiet. Like, I don't do it often, but I definitely like it. And I just moved, for those of you that don't know, and we're like out in Timbuktu over here hauling water and shit, but I love it. And it's literally like dead silent. Like midday, I was like doing my thing, doing my little minute of silence or whatever, and I was like, oh wow, like I actually could enjoy it. And I think it had a little bit more meaning because there wasn't so many distractions around as well. And I don't know, I really like that.
I guess mine was like the whole self-love sections of it, because I'm like the first one to admit that I like am not good about taking care of myself or loving on myself. So yeah, definitely been taking time to do that since reading it.
Anybody else want to share?
All right, I'll take another one for the team. There's something else I gotta say. So I don't remember, it was in like some of the early chapters. I don't remember exactly which one, but there was something where she was saying like, right, of course I'm the one that doesn't bring my notes. So anyways, but there was something that she was saying like, look at what you have, or like kind of like a struggle wise or whatever, and just at the end of whatever you're writing, say like, I'm thankful for it. And so that chapter specifically really spoke to me, because I could tell you my list of things that I was like struggling with or yada yada was like 5 pages long, and then to have to go back and be like, I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for that, made me just forget whatever was so irrelevant. So that really spoke to me. And that
So good. All right, I don't want to force you guys to share, but if you have something else, just holler at me in the chat and I'll stop for you to share. But I love that. I think that it's so good. And I think honestly, outside of like what it's making me learn, just the way the book is set up is really interesting and like is different for me too, because I've never had something that has forced me to stop both in the morning and at night. and like really take evaluation of my feelings and my thoughts throughout the day, and like catching things that I didn't think I would catch before. I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. Okay, so tonight is going to, Nat, you're hilarious, be all about giving this business a year and what it means for me when I ask a distributor if, like, when they're wanting to give up on themselves or quit this business, that do you honestly feel like you gave this a fair shot? Like, that's my very first question. Like, can you honestly say you worked this business truly? And for me, a lot of it has to do with, number one, what you're doing every single day. Number two, how much time you've given me. If you have only been in this a week, I don't care how hard you've been working, you have not given this a fair shot, period. That's not even enough time to make a decent amount of money at Subway, okay, let alone starting a business. And we're going to be talking all about kind of like a 9-to-5 mindset and an entrepreneurial mindset in a second. But I want you to remember this as you guys grow into leadership positions, that you need to call people out. And it's okay to, not in a mean way, obviously, but like call it how it is. And like, if you are honestly telling me that you've put one post up and you've messaged 10 people and you haven't grown your network at all and you've been in this business a week, then you're not following my training, and we need to have an honest conversation about how bad do you truly want this. You joined this business for a specific reason. You trusted me, or you, if they enrolled with you, to make you successful in this. You chose me to be your leader. If you don't let me do my job, I can't help you. I can't do the work for you, but I can absolutely give you every tool in the toolbox to make this happen. So for me, I immediately reiterate their why. I will literally send them their why that they sent me in the beginning. And if that is not deep enough, I will force them to go deeper with me. Like, okay, well, I know that you say that you want to just be like more financially free, but let's break that down a little bit more. What does that truly look like? Does that mean having all your bills on auto pay? Does that mean being debt free? Does that mean paying for your family's bills? Like, I want to know what that means for you, because what that means for me could mean totally something different than what you're envisioning. I want to know why you want this. And if you truly haven't given this a fair shot and you think that you have, and you're ready to go, just know, even if that's someone on this Zoom, like, I hate to see you go and I'm sad for you, but there's always an open door policy on this team, and you will never be shut down when you want to come back. Like, some people's time just isn't right now, and that's okay. But what I need you to recognize is that you are completely giving up on yourself. You're not giving up on this business. You're not quitting the business. You gave up on the reason that you joined. So if you joined because you want to buy clothes for your kids, you want to have your bills on auto pay, you want to be debt free, you want to travel, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm giving up on this. And am I okay with that? And that's what a fair shot to me is. So what I would want is that this person, we get down to their why, and I literally will ask them, will you give me 30 days of working this 2 hours a day, every single day? Sorry, y'all, for 30 days. And I'm going to show you how to make the money that you want to make with this. But you gotta give me at least 30 days of every single day. And if their answer is no, I'm not going to pry teeth to get them to work. That's when I say, okay, I love you. I'm sad to see you go. I need you to understand the consequences of what you're doing right now, but there will always be an open door if you want to come back. So just know you don't need to re-enroll. I'm going to show you how to turn your site off so that you're not paying anything each month. But if you want to come back, you have that opportunity. That allows you as a leader to still use their box for your promotion. It's not going to deter your promotion. And number two, that makes them not have to wait 90 days to rejoin if they change their mind tomorrow. That makes them be able to come back and not have to pay the restart up again. They literally just pay the $20 and turn their website back on. Like, it's literally that simple. So if these are things that maybe you don't know, you're gonna learn these over time. So that's why when you have someone who does feel like giving up or is having this issue, that you go to your enroller if you've never dealt with that before and see how they handle it. Because I can show you breaking down their why. The biggest mistake that I see some people make when they're stepping into these leadership roles is just letting people go. It's just like a potential or somebody who you're asking for a HAP and they say no, and you say, okay, do you mind if I ask why? It's the same thing. You have to get down to the nitty gritty with these people because they needed this business. They joined for a reason, and it is our job to sell the dream. It is our job to show them the vision of this company, which I feel like I do a good job of, right? So you guys see how to do that. Preach about where you're going. Preach about showing up to events. You guys, when you get to events and you see the CEO of the company standing there talking to you, it feels like he's talking to you. There's not a single person that walks out of those conference doors that's not in tears every single day. And if you can feel that, even virtually, or you've never been to an event before, go on YouTube, watch a replay. They have clips of all of our conferences on there. You can feel the fire and you'll see that vision. And once you catch it for yourself, it's so much easier to show your team. When you promote to Ruby and you earn that first $500 paycheck, you're able to go to your team and be like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I know I can do this now, which means I know that you can do this, right? When you start seeing those little wins for yourself, that is catching the dream. That's catching the vision. That's catching the momentum. And now you just show your team the exact same thing. Everything that you're doing is going to be just this layered leadership and duplication. That is the key to this. Okay, so drop a 1 in the chat if that makes sense as to what is a fair shot, making sure that your distributors are really, truly giving this a chance. Yay, I'm seeing lots of 1s. Great. And I'm kind of talking like in a low voice, number 1, because y'all, I get winded at these things, but also because my kid is sleeping next door and I'm trying not to like scream because I get real passionate real quick. Okay, so let's talk about a 9-to-5 mindset and an entrepreneurial mindset. When I very first heard about this, it was a video from Carrie Young and it was called Coin Pusher. Okay. The other video that like kind of inspired this whole training for me is Jocelyn Yates, Give It a Year. And they're really good videos. So if you want to go watch them after this, you're going to hear a lot of the same things that I'm telling you. But literally, had I not watched these 2 videos, I would have never committed to taking quitting off the table for a year. I would have never gone diamond. I would have never earned the bonuses that we've had. And I probably would not be retired at 24 right now. Straight up. Like, it just wouldn't have happened. So a 9-to-5 mentality is when you show up at a job, doesn't matter how hard you work, doesn't matter if you actually finish your tasks, you get paid for every hour that you're there. In Oregon, minimum wage is something like $11.25 or $11.75 or something. Yes, I will put them in the chat. Or Nat, will you do it for me? Jocelyn Yates, Give It a Year. Carrie Young, Coin Pusher. Okay, so you show up to work, it's like $11.25 for minimum wage or something here in Oregon. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. And every hour that you show up, you get paid for that. It doesn't matter what happens in that time frame, you get paid. For example, when I was a property manager and I would have to go drive around and I got stuck in traffic for an extra hour, I was chill with it because I still got paid by the mile and I was still getting paid by the hour. Right? That's that kind of mindset that we're in, is when it doesn't matter as long as we're there. If our physical body is in our place of work, we get paid. The mindset doesn't matter. What you're thinking doesn't matter. The efforts you put in doesn't matter. I'm seeing nods, so I feel like that makes sense. An entrepreneurial mindset is when you understand that when you join a business, when you start a business, regardless of what that is, I've just been using Subway as an example because Lord knows I'm craving Subway. So you start a Subway, you are going to have to eat it you're going to eat shit for a few years. Do you understand that the average entrepreneur, this is such a rough number, so don't quote me, but does not pay themselves for the first like 2 to 5 years of their business? Again, totally rough number, but it takes years before people even see a single paycheck. They're paying overhead, they're paying employees, they're paying for their materials, they're paying for all the things, the licensing, the lease, the lights. The best part about this business is that we have very little overhead. You have your website and your auto ship. And I promise you, if you're doing the work, you'll be making enough to cover those, okay? Having said all of that, we need to understand that in this business, you are going to work for a long time. And it's going to feel like you are pouring yourself into this and you're not sure if you're seeing the paychecks yet. I guarantee you, and I want you to drop a 1 in the comments if this was you, because Lord knows it was me. I keep saying that, and I don't even believe in God, but it's the truth. If when you first joined and you looked at your first paycheck, you were kind of bummed. You saw that first paycheck and you were like, oh, only $40? Oh, damn, only $90? Like, I really thought it was going to be more than that. Like, I'm working really hard. And I'm like, I thought I was going to be making like $700 by now. You can. That's totally something that, you know, people go diamond in freaking 2 weeks, right? It's not necessarily everybody. It's not necessarily realistic, but it happens. It's not impossible. But you're going to feel like that for a long time because you are a business owner. You do not walk into work and get paid for sitting in the chair. You are grinding and doing the work for however long it takes because you know when you get to the end of the finish line, it's going to be worth it. You know how much money people make from Subways every year? After you get out of the red, you're in the green. But you gotta get through that space to get there. All of us started at the bottom. All of us started as distributors. No one came into this company and boom, I was double diamond. No. I put blood, sweat, and tears into this business, and that's why I am where I am. So you have to look at, are you willing to do whatever it takes? My answer was always yes from the day that I joined this business. If you can't tell already, if you've taken the color personality test, I'm super red. And money really excites me. So that's all I need is my driving force and the dangling carrot in front of my face, and it's go time. I don't know what motivates you. It's different for everyone. But you have to find it and you have to go. And it's going to take you a few months to build. It's going to take you some time. There are going to be nights where you come to me crying because something happened. You're going to be upset because you missed your promotion by 9BV. We all go through the things. And we've been talking about this so much. You are not an exception. You are the majority in all areas. And there is nothing that you could do or go through in this business that I have not gone through already. And I don't say that to be cocky. I say that so that you know that you can fall and I will catch you every single time. But you have to literally be so dead set, so obsessed with your future, so obsessed with what that diamond paycheck and that bonus will bring you, that when I was up, and Julia put it in the chat, I promoted to Ruby when I was in the hospital promoting or giving birth to my daughter. Promoting, I know. I stayed up. You guys, when I first started this, I was working 60 plus hours a week. I was getting up, leaving my house before the sun was up, coming home when it was dark. Every single day, 5 days a week. I was exhausted. I was the definition of didn't have time. And to top it off, I was 8.5 months pregnant and so freaking sick, it's not even funny. I had to get IV'd multiple times. Like, it was not fun. I had every excuse in the book not to do this. But I knew when I gave birth to my daughter, there was a $5,000 medical bill waiting for me. How was I going to pay for that? What was I going to do? I didn't have a choice. So I did whatever it took. The nights where I was up till 3 a.m., it didn't feel like work because I was so fired up. I was so excited. And we need to get re-excited about our business if you're not there right now. And I hope you can feel my energy and how excited I am for you guys, because I see me where I was 2 years ago in so many of you. You are so close, and you are at the point where you've waited this out long enough that you're either brand new or you've been in this a second and you're about to see what I said is going to happen when you put your head down and do the work. The people who I've told to wait it out are about to see the repercussions of what that looks like. And if you're brand new, you gotta go, man. You gotta run for what you want. You have to claim it because no one is going to give it to you. This is not a job. This isn't a job. I'm not your boss. I'm not gonna sit here and give you an email task list every day. You guys are super lucky, and I wish I had it every single time when I was first starting to have the push page. Like, it wasn't until I was 6 months, almost a year in, that we started doing pushes throughout the month where somebody gave us a task list, and I loved it. I ate it up because I was looking for just somebody tell me what to do and I'll do it. I have no problem doing the work. I just don't know what to do. You don't have an excuse. Every single day I post about what you should be doing, what you should be focusing on, who you should be running with, training videos, what you should be listening to for self-development. I give it to you all every day. I give you a tip of the day every day. I do trainings twice a week. I make sure to remind you when family calls are, when show me the money calls are, right? I'm not saying these things to toot my own horn. I'm telling you that you have the tools. And you have to decide if you are done having the 9-to-5 mindset and you're ready for the entrepreneurial mind. Because it is a step up and it is different. And they're like, entrepreneurship, business owners has become this really frou-frou word over the last 2 years. But some people actually do the things and some people don't. Don't be a fraud. That's where the self-limiting beliefs and feeling like you're a fraud comes in. Don't do that to yourself. Don't be the girl, the person, the man who posts on social media about running for this promotion, but all you did was put up a post today. Are you lying to your following, or are you lying to yourself and saying that you're doing the work and you're not? I'm not calling anyone out here. I'm not trying to point fingers at you guys. I know you all work your tails off, but I want you to see where I'm coming from in this. There are some people that are going to do the work and there are some that aren't, and you can't complain about where you're at because you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Both in your journey, in your learning, in your growth. This is such a period of time where you guys are allowed to be vulnerable. You're allowed to fall on your face. You're allowed to make mistakes. I think that's one of the best things about this. And you learn from it every time. And the reason that you go through it is because you're going to have a big team just like this one day. And you're going to have to show them how to do the same things because they're going to go through it. Okay, so now that we've talked about the different mindsets. The other thing that I wanted to point out specifically about the checks is when I switched my mindset to, hang on, I want to write this down because I don't want to forget. When I changed my mindset from, oh my gosh, dang it, it's only blank amount, to, oh my gosh, the majority, like I just said, of entrepreneurs don't pay themselves. They don't even see a dime the first couple years of their business. How incredible is it that you just got a paycheck in your first 30 days? You are seeing money immediately. Start selling samples the day that you start your business. That is cash in your pocket. There is so much room for growth when you look at just perception, just the way that you look at things, because there's always a positive and a negative in everything. And we talk about all the time that you have a choice every time. And if you look at your paychecks every month and you have a shitty attitude about it, they're only going to get worse. So are you going to decide to start being thankful, just like Matt pointed out in our May Cause Miracles? Are you going to be thankful for the check that you thought was going to be bigger? That's okay to say. But you're going to be continuing to do the work and your success is inevitable. So if you know all of those things and you're choosing the positive outlook, the positive perception, don't you think that your paycheck's going to grow? That your team's going to grow? Think about when you have a team, would you want your distributors coming to you saying, oh my gosh, I only got a $40 paycheck? Don't you want to shake them? I literally want to shake people. I'm like, oh my God, you're right. That's amazing. You already earned over half your money back in your first 30 days. You should be giving yourself a hug. Most people spend hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to start businesses. We are lucky that this business is only $99. We are lucky to have access to paychecks immediately. We are lucky that our company is awesome enough to give us the opportunity to earn 5 paychecks a month, to earn a $15,000 bonus. Where else do you see that? Because I follow a lot of people in a lot of other companies and I never see that kind of stuff. The things that we have our hands on here, you guys, is literal gold. So switch your perspective. Okay, let's talk about giving this a year. If you have not committed to taking quitting off the table, all I need is a commitment for 12 months. That's it. Because once you go through that 12 months, you will never give up on your business. And if you do, I feel really sorry for you. But once you are a year in, you have seen it all. If you have truly done the work, if you truly give this 12 months of just giving your best every day, just showing up every day, just doing the best you can, your paycheck will be insane. If you guys don't know my story, again, everyone has their own story, and I could be so much farther along than I am. But I have paid off almost $10,000 of debt because of this business. Income disclosure statement. I have been able to purchase our first home. We have 2 kids now, one on the way, one here. We have done so many things. I've been able, like I just said earlier, I was working 60 plus hours a week as a property manager. I wanted more. I wanted to be there with my kids. I wanted to have a family. And even if your goal isn't to be a stay-at-home mom, like, who doesn't want an extra $4,000 a month? You know what I'm saying? Like, who doesn't want that? So I don't know, again, what it is that excites you, but you have to pick something for your 12-month goal. That's why I asked you guys the other day in the leadership chat, I think it was, where you want to be before the end of this year. Because when you have that goal in mind and you've taken quitting off the table for 12 months, you will do anything it takes to get there. And even if you fall short of your goal, you will be so much further than if you had not taken quitting off the table and given this a year and not committed to showing up every day. Right? Like, that's just common knowledge. So in 1 year, I went from working 60 plus hours a week, putting groceries on credit card, like literally food on credit cards, things to survive, to being able to quit my job, stay at home mom, purchase our first home, pay off debt. I've been to Florida, 3-4 times. Like, I'm doing all of I'm like checkbox, 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 checkbox on all of my dream boards. And I want that for you too. And all I did was give myself the 12-month commitment and set a goal. And then once I hit it, I was so freaking excited that I got there that I did it again. I made myself another 12-month commitment to myself and this business and a goal. And that's what keeps me going every day, is that light at the end of the tunnel, is that shit on my dream board that I haven't checked off yet because I've seen the checks. And even if yours is literally to put $20 in my gas tank, to not have to put my next grocery trip on my credit card and to pay cash. It starts small, because it started small for me too. Wasn't immediately buying a house and quitting my job and doing the things. It started with, I want to be able to live. And then it turned into, I want to get my hair done. And then it turned into, well, maybe I can get a little bit of a nicer car. And then it turned into, well, maybe we can stop living with roommates. And then it was, can we buy a house? Can we have a kid? Like, it just spirals and you keep growing. And that's what's so fun. So don't take the fun out of this by selling yourself short and quit before the getting gets good. The biggest mistake I see people make is quit before they've given this a fair shot and given this enough time. Once you start to have the entrepreneurial mindset, a year is nothing. A year is nothing. Julia shared a Gary Vee video with me the other day, and he literally said in his video, my biggest advice for 20-year-olds is to close your eyes and reopen them when you're 30. The majority of us are in the same age demographic, and what we need to understand is that we have so much time. The time is going to pass anyways, and whether you're doing this business or not, y'all are going to be scrolling social. So why not be a little bit more proactive? Why not do something with it that's going to write you a paycheck? Why not be a part of something that not only makes your body feel better, but where else in a 9-to-5, what other job, what thing do you get paid for to where the community around you, the women and men around you are pushing you to be better? Because I promise you, every day when I walked into my job, it was not, hey, what are you listening to for self-development today? It was, hey, guess what Karen did? And let me tell you about all the drama from yesterday when you were out of the office. Doesn't that get exhausting? Doesn't that feel draining? I know not everybody's job is as shitty as mine was, but like, I've never felt more fulfilled. So give yourself that time. Okay, now that we've kind of word vomited, I want to end with a little bit of visual manifestation for a sec. So I'm going to make you guys do this again. You guys were all weird about it last time, but I'm going to make you do it again because some of you loved it. Yeah, literally you. And bear with me, a little bit hippy dippy, but I really want you to take the time. So for real, close your eyes. Pay attention to my voice. Okay, everybody's eyes closed. I want you to imagine when eSuite turns over, May 31st, or you check it the next morning, June 1st, first thing in the morning, you woke up, immediately ran to eSuite, went to your volume total by distributor report, and it says your dream rank that you're pushing for this month. Think about what that is. Think about that rank. Think about the chart. Think about the paycheck. eSuite just changed. What are you wearing when it changed? Where are you sitting? Get your minds out of the gutter. What are you wearing? Who are you telling? Who are you calling? Oh my God, I love you guys. Think about that for a sec. What are you saying to them? What sounds are there? Who's around you? What's your environment like? When you see eSuite shift and it says that dream paycheck you've been waiting and pushing so hard for, it's finally there. How do you feel? What are the sensations that you feel in your body? How is your brain reacting? Are you excited? Are you jumping up and down? Are you crying? Are you screaming? Are you shaking your spouse saying, I did it? What is that check going to do for you? I want you to seriously think about, if it's going to your bills, what bills? Who are you writing checks to? You got debt that you want to pay off with that? Where is it going? You buying clothes? What stores you going to, boo? All right, I want you to picture that for a second. Just kind of ruminate on that. Feel the excitement, because it's here. And again, I'm going to be super cheesy, but on this one meditation that I love that is about manifestation, he says at the end, it is done, it is done, it is done. So I want you to say that to yourself right now. It is done, it is done, it is done. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.